Well, it's a beautiful rainy day here in California, the last day of the year, and I am looking forward to knitting a pair of color loop socks. I'm going to start it by hand and then switch to uh, transfer it to my LT 150 circular sock machine to do the rest of the leg, heel, foot, and toe. And I hope you'll join me. Here I've got two color loops on separated by 31 stitches on a 64 stitch sock. I made the color loops each 4 feet long, and I'll put the little basic repeat in the notes below. I'm just going to do knitting around and finishing the color loop motifs for just as long as the loops last. So this is maybe the trickiest part to doing a combination sock, but it works pretty well. Just the last bit is a bit awkward. I will say that this LT150 is a very special machine because unlike other sock machines, you can choose which direction you're going to knit, and so you can match the same knitting as the hand knitting, whereas most other sock machines do the opposite direction. So that can be tricky. For my RBG socks on a previous video, I was using an Erlbacher, and so I was doing a lot of turning the sock inside out and taking advantage of that. But with this machine, I can just do a straightforward, regular direction of knitting. And this company has great customer service. I was able to request a 64 stitch cylinder when historically they were providing 66 stitches for some of their standard cylinders. So I got the very first 64 stitch cylinder and I love it. See how easy it is to drop the ribber in? Now I'm only going to put the back of the leg stitches into 1x1 ribbing. And I'm going to do 40 rows. I just want to lengthen the sock a little bit and make sure that that ankle part of the leg is not baggy. I do really like a slip stitch heel, but when I do that on the machine, it doesn't hug it in as much as a 1x1 rib, so that's why I'm doing that. And I'm all done putting the needles back, getting ready to do the heel now. Okay, for the heel, I raise stitches on the instep so that I don't knit them, and I start knitting the heel back and forth. And I'm gonna put a link below to my project page where I put some imagery of the heel so that you can see. I think it's slightly different on the machine than it is by hand because I don't do those 2 rows of going back and forth to knit through the shadow stitches that I do when I do hand knitting. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And I did it for 64 stitches sock, so that would be a 33 stitch heel for me. I think that makes it deep enough with that little extra wedge that I do. This is a deep heel, short row version, so that I don't miss out on some of the advantages of a heel flap and gusset like I prefer when I'm hand knitting. So I did 33 stitches for the heel and 31 stitches for the toe, but you could very easily translate that for any number of stitches that you prefer. Maybe you do a 35 stitch heel, or even if you do an even number, you can see what I did and sort of match it just by adding or subtracting a couple rows here or there as you can see the pattern. So for the toe increases, I do the first 3 or 4 sets of increases, and then I lift needles again and I do those same increases again. And that adds a little boxy shape to the end of the toe, which I think makes the sock fit better. You can see that on the project page chart. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope this video was entertaining. I would love it if you like, subscribe, and comment below. And perhaps some Color Loops socks will be in your future. I would love to see them if you make them. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.